Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Bushra Fatima, Assistant Professor, Sushant School of Art and Architecture, Sushant University. And my co-author is Ameed Inam, Assistant Professor, School of Architecture and Design, Galgotias University. And the topic of our presentation is the impact of neuroscience principles on the transformation of urban villages. So the aim of this paper is the prime objective will be to define the link between built environment concept in the context of urban villages and the impact of neuroscience principle on transformation of urban villages into urban cities in the last 50 years. Further, to link inferences from neuroscience theories to architecture built environment principle and theories. Also, it is critical to examine factors like as work-life balance, standard of living, educational levels, recreational opportunities, and the quality of the public school and spaces. In Indian cities that are well planned but yet have uneven parameters when compared to cities that are built using neuroscience concepts. This imbalance in the parameters is the main reason why many Indian cities not even in the list of world rankings. As a result, now is a critical time to be incorporating neuroscience concept into architecture so that citizens can sense the realism and significance of the built environment in their lives, living in many developing cities of India. So first of all, we have to know what is the relationship between neuroarchitecture and neuroscience relationship. So the study of how the nervous system develops, its structure, and what it performs is known as neuroscience, often known as neuroscience. Neuroarchitecture is a field of study that looks at the connection between neuroscience and the current architecture design of buildings and other man-made structures, and that make up artificially manufactured world in which most people live. So the amount of human response to the component that make up this type of constructed environment is addressed by neuroarchitecture. Neuroscientists study the brain and how it affects behavior and cognition. Neuroscience is concerned not only with how the nervous system works normally, but also with what occurs in the nervous system. So the theory behind the neuroarchitecture is that the environment has a direct impact on the most rudimentary pattern of brain activity that are hidden from conscious observation. So the goal of neuroarchitecture is to construct surroundings that can either excite or block some of these predetermined patterns depending on the space intended use. In this way, architects who employ applied neuroscience can build with the explicit goal of influencing human behavior, even those beyond conscious perception and control. So the post-1960 scenario, so the interaction between human and the built environment has a significant potential for knowledge creation in environmental design disciplines. Knowledge is derived from human responses to the built environment can be utilized and in design decisions to create and improve fit and further harmonious relationship between humans and the built environment. So put it another way, the better we understand human reaction to the built environment, the better we can build for them. Since the collapse of modernism in the 1960s, research on human built environment interaction has been more important through a retrospective view of architectural progress and urban thought. At the time, environmental and behavioral studies were concerned with the mutual interaction of people and the built environment. So what are the urban villages in India? So the term urban villages refers to villages that are located within a city built up area. These communities, however, are not native villages in the traditional sense. In most Indian cities, they are unique consequences of the urbanization process. They are also a manifestation of unfinished urbanization in India, which is characterized by unique social institution and socio-economic condition. Urban villages had numerous detrimental effects on urban growth. According to the municipal governments, these communities have an impact on urban structure, optimization, urban image improvement, and land price enhancement. So what is the need of this transformation? Cities of India are rapidly expanding and growing. So the city tends to expand and absorb its rural precinct as its population grows, resulting in changes in land use pattern, morphological character, and the social and economic life of rural people. So the city can thus be considered a collection of urban extensions. Urban villages are settlements that have been absorbed into the urban boundaries in terms of land use, employment, income, and culture. The village's rural identity is progressively changed into an urban profile. So the process of urbanization is seen as crucial for socio-economic process and cultural transformation. As a result, urban villages are undergoing major socio-cultural transformation. Following the laws of agriculture land, social organization, attitudes, values, and behaviors changes as they embrace new urban habits and jobs. The evolution of growth of urban villages. Several elements influence the city development, technology progress, economic development, socio-economic culture change, and the growth of all variables that influence the city's physical form and structure. The majority of cities have formed around an existing center, either as an enlargement of the city or as a new route surrounding the city. The city tends to expand and absorb its rural environments and population grows. So the transformation of villages from rural to urban can be broadly divided into three stages: rural, transitional, and urban. In rural, those villages which are distantly located from the urban areas and not proposed to be urbanized in near future. And in transitional, villages proposed to be included in master plan areas for acquisition and urban development. And in urban, villages which are already unfilled in the urban area and are handed over a municipality for general maintenance and upkeeping. So in terms of land use, mostly from residential to commercial and industrial, as well as social structure and demographic composition, the villages undergo significant changes and transformation. Land purchase and subsequent changes in landowners' livelihood patterns, as well as increase in land value due to strategic position and demand for residential space, all of which push landowners to build their structure horizontally and vertically. So what is the element of neuroscience? So neuroarchitecture strives to solve problems that have the potential to have a large scale positive impact of human health and experience. Human may be able to gain a better scientific understanding of the relationship between humans and the built environment as a research advances. So the Academy of Neuroscience for Architecture has looked into the functional requirement for various types of building and identified 5 main areas of research to be addressed, that is sensory perception, roots, emotions, learning and memories, space, and place. So in sensory perception, perception is a multi-sensory event which involves memory, emotions, and experience of sensory organs. It impacts behavior and imagination, as well as the way new information is processed and people's reaction to the environment. And in roots, neuroscience application to architecture is unique in that it provides the scientific tools and technology needed to investigate the human-built environment relationships. Findings in neuroarchitecture will increasingly affect design strategies and decisions as our understanding of how and why humans react to environment stimuli in built spaces grows. And emotions, built environment are initially sensed through emotions, a quick and effective technique provided by evolution to help us discern between good and bad, safe and harmful, and so on. And in learning and memory, visual clues are needed for spatial memory to detect our location and orientation in any given situation. Location learning is delay and the stress responses engage when these sources of references are missing. And in spaces and place, despite the fact that places are generally connected with special context, the concept of place differs from space in one crucial aspect: the interaction of individuals. The way individuals travel through a place has a significant impact on its internal representation. A glass divider that blocks movement but allows seeing can be enough for the brain to distinguish two physical neighbor areas. So the scale of transformation. So the center and the state government have made significant efforts in the urban villages sector in the recent year. However, urban planning, which is bedrock of integrated city, citizen, and environmental development has gotten little attention. While a result, urban villages regions struggle to attain basic services for everyone as state and city governments continue to tackle urban challenges in a firefighting mode. So the National Commission of Urbanization elaborated that physical or spatial planning covers various aspects of development, such as infrastructure, basic amenities, land use development, physical environment, and citizen participation in decision making and plan implementation, the ultimate objective being improvement in the quality of life for all the section of society. So neuroscience application on urban transformation, several elements linked to cities have been identified as contributing to mental health issues. Toxins, environmental stresses, temperature conditions, and social factors are the examples. Neuroscience provides a better knowledge how these factors affect human health and welfare, providing a foundation for design and healthy environments. So there are numerous other ways that neuroscience research might be used to educate and improve urban transformation. For example, in older persons, social isolation can hinder cognitive impairment, increased noise reduces employee productivity, poor air quality in urban areas due to increased motor traffic has major negative consequences for human brain development. So these are the steps for transformation of urban villages: monitor, evaluate, analyze and plan, design and develop, deploy and implement. So the conclusion of this presentation is that the global urban population is continuously growing and making it critical to develop answers to the mental and physical health difficulties that cities provided. City planners, policymakers, and other interested in urban design can use neuroscience to gain access to a growing research base on which to develop future cities that are healthy, attractive, and inclusive places to live. So as urban villages adjusted their location of public space in response to the issues, the green inequality became apparent. Access to green spaces has been shown in studies to help bridge income-related health inequalities. Thus, while addressing income inequality is not within the capabilities of architects and urban designers, the profession addressed the issue by providing more green spaces in low-income communities. So the use of neuroscientific findings can aid in better understanding how to construct and alter urban communities, the necessities, the development of policies that can assist in generating the requisite scale of transformation so that it can be executed. Although the neuroscience method benefits planners and urban designer, the impact is slow. The transformation will produce a better living environment for citizens in terms of well-being, improved standard of living, and educational issues, and so on. These are some references. Thank you so much.